Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Big Keys here for another edition of the Wrestling Wrap Up. This is not an episode. I did this a couple weeks ago. This is just basically, hey, some news has been going on. A pay-per-view just passed. And it's kind of like, instead of waiting almost like 3 to 4 weeks to discuss it when everything had already been passed, I figured, you know what, let's take me a little bit of time and just discuss it. Let just it's not don't expect no hour and a half long like my usual shows are. This is just like a little wrap up so that way I can keep you informed. Sometimes I'll do this by myself. Sometimes I'll bring on a guest, like tonight. My homeboy Sean. Sean, what's up, man? Host of the Your Boxing Fix podcast. Also, Your Boxing Fix Instagram. Sean, what's up, fam?
My dude, Big Keys. How you doing, man? I appreciate you having me, big dog.
Good, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you coming on, man. Tell the folks a little bit about your boxing fix, man, and let them know what that's all about.
Oh man, well, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. Just got on YouTube, so it's just pretty much a platform, man, where I just get on there and just talk boxing. It'll be filled with like boxing clips, and every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a show called Let's Talk Boxing, where we get on there for about an hour, and we, just like same thing you do with wrestling, Keys. We just get on there and we just discuss boxing, what's been going on recently, any news that's been broken down. We try to get some guests up there when we can, so we'll have fans that'll stop by. We'll have actual fighters, that'll stop by. So it's pretty much just like a platform, man, where we discuss boxing. So anybody that's watching, holler at me, your boxing face, give us a follow, and check out our content, man.
Man, yeah, y'all check them out. I'm like, hey, you a wrestling fan? My show. Boxing fan? His show.
There you go.
This man knows. I'm out the loop with a lot of stuff with boxing because I will see Sean post a lot of stuff to his page, and he'll post about a match, and I'm like, I didn't even know these two were had a match. I didn't know what was going on. I'm so out the loop with boxing. I pretty much only pay attention to the big fights. Sean does every fight, like the fights that I don't even know about, like guys that I ain't even heard about on the scene. I didn't know. I only pay attention to like the Fury and the other guy he just fought. I don't. That's it. That's it for me. If it's a big fight and everybody's talking about it, I'll watch. Other than that, I don't even know who's on the undercard sometimes. Same thing with UFC. I just watched the most recent fight with Masvidal and Covington. Mm-hmm. I don't know anybody else underneath them. I watch the big matches and that's it. So definitely, if you're a boxing fan, if you want to get your quote unquote boxing fix, Sean is the person for you, man. And I know he got a lot of merchandise coming out, shirts, everything. And I've seen this dude you guys got to follow his Instagram because he is getting nationwide. He got people overseas rocking with him, man. So shout out to Sean, man. Definitely you doing your big thing, man.
I appreciate you.
I gotta get on your show eventually, man, and talk some boxing that I do know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Every Saturday, I'll give you the rundown before the show, so that way I'm just not throwing you into the water with something that you may not, be familiar with, or a fighter that you don't, really know too much about. So if I get you up there, man, it'll be just one of those. What's your favorite fight? Who's your favorite fighter? Favorite moment?
I can roll with that.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's something simple for me. That's something simple for me. I used to watch boxing with my dad. I remember when my dad used to watch. We used to watch ESPN Classic, and we used to watch all the Muhammad Ali fights he had. My dad would just sit there with me, and he was like, "Hey, this was the match back in the day, the Thriller in Manila." My dad he knew so much about it. He would just sit there. He said, "No, this is real boxing."
Yeah.
My dad would school me on all the old school, and I would just sit there and I would soak up all the knowledge he gave me in regards to boxing. May God rest his soul and everything he taught me in regards to boxing, sports, period. Yeah. So, Dad, thank you for everything. Rest in peace. Miss your pops.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man. Yeah, spend time with your pops, man. They know a lot of everything in regards to sports, man. Spend some time. If your father's still here, hey, appreciate the time they're here, man, before they're gone.
Yeah, my dad is he's still here, man. He's still kicking, and I talked with him about getting him on one of the shows on Saturday. So you might see my old man up there, and I said, man, you can just get up there and just talk old school boxing, like the stuff that you used to see. Because I mean, you said it yourself. A lot of us, we have memories of watching boxing when we were younger, with whether it's our father, whether it's an uncle, cousin, or something like that. You remember watching them old fights, man, and you'll be surprised how often that's the case. I get messages all the time. I'll post a fight, and somebody will say, "Oh man, I remember watching that fight with my dad or with my uncle. I was 5 years old. I was sitting on the ground, but I remember like it was yesterday." Like I like triggering stuff like that. You know what I mean? I like triggering, people's past and stuff that means something to somebody, and I get a lot of that with the boxing stuff. So I'm truly blessed, man.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Make sure y'all tune in, man. Oh, a couple of shout outs. WFSB 91 Fuego Beach. Shout out to him. I know I gotta do a show with him coming up. Hopefully we can get together. I know we've been busy. And also make sure y'all follow us here on Instagram. Make sure y'all follow us on Facebook as well. Make sure y'all follow us on Twitter. I post everything and anything that's regarding wrestling. I try to keep the pages updated. It's been a lot going on. That's why I had the idea of doing a wrestling wrap up, because I know I post a lot, but we don't really talk about it. It's just basically pictures that I post, and that's it. So that's why I want to do these wrap ups, to make sure I keep everybody informed of exactly what's going on. All right, so this week, as y'all know, this past Sunday, let's get into it, by the way. This past Sunday, AEW Revolution pay-per-view, Sean came through to the crib and watched it, and with my homeboy Brian. Shout out to Brian, who came over as well for the AEW Revolution. Not too many things happened of importance. There was no major title changes. I have the results up here. Sean, anything that stuck out to you at the pay-per-view on Sunday that that caught your interest? Or I do know the two surprises they had were William Regal came out after the Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson match. That was a bit of a surprise because he's all elite. And also Swerve Strickland, a.k.a. Isaiah Swerve Scott in WWE. He is now all elite. Other than that, there weren't too many surprises. But, Sean, anything that stuck out to you at the pay-per-view?
I'm anxious to see what happens with this whole Regal, Moxley, Danielson situation. It was a good match that they had. So you bring Regal in, so it's like, what's going to happen now? Are they going to form a stable? Are they going to maybe organize another match? So I'm anxious to see what happens with that, what kind of role that they're going to have Regal play. But like you said, not too much stuff really happened. You know what I mean? So, I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, my takeaway is mainly the dog collar match with CM Punk and MJF.
Mm-hmm.
And as y'all know, the big news at the end of that match was Wardlow assisting CM Punk, basically turning on MJF. This past Wednesday, he had an in-ring segment with the ring.
Yep.
Yeah. He left the ring. He didn't really toss it to CM Punk. He left it at the ringside, walked away. CM Punk hit MJF with the ring, knocked him out. So, but Wardlow is pretty much on his own. Wardlow actually won the Face of the Revolution match at the pay-per-view, so he gets a shot at the TNT Championship, which, by the way, Sammy Guevara lost last night to Scorpio Sky last night. So Scorpio Sky is a new TNT champion. Scorpio Sky will defend the TNT title next Wednesday against Wardlow in the St. Patrick's Day Slam special they got running. So interested to see if Wardlow actually becomes TNT champion. Is like if Scorpio Sky's going to be our transition champion and Wardlow's going to get the TNT championship, or is MJF going to cost them? It's going to be interesting to see what direction they go. It can go in either two. Either option would be okay. I don't think it's necessary to put the TNT championship on Wardlow just yet. Hold off on that. I mean, but if he does win the title, you could bring it into the feud with him and MJF. But like I said, you really don't need that title right now with them two. I mean, if he does win it, you can that just adds on a little spice onto their feud that they're going to have. More than likely, their next pay-per-view is Double or Nothing, Memorial Day weekend. They're definitely going to have a match at Double or Nothing. I already see. Question is it going to be for the title? Is it going to be a regular match? And I do know Wardlow did say in his promo yesterday, I really kind of get this. I got this Batista feel from Wardlow when he gave that speech. When when Batista went out on his own, I got that kind of sense with Wardlow. I kind of feel that at Double or Nothing, this is going to be a huge match for him. I can definitely see a series of matches between these two. And I kind of feel like somebody did bring it up on Twitter in regards to they could go in a direction where Wardlow is still in the contract. He is actually still under contract, quote unquote, with MJF. Could be, hey, if you beat me, I'll disregard the contract, or hey, if you lose to me, you stay on the contract with me and stuff like that. So be interested to see where they go with that.
Yeah.
Also, Hangman Adam Page, he beat Adam Cole for the AEW World Championship. Very good match as well. Other than that, no other matches. The Eddie Kingston Jericho match was pretty good. That was definitely pretty good. And last night as well, Chris Jericho turned. Well, he basically went back to heel. He joined up with 2.0. Forgot the other guy's name that he runs with 2.0, and then Hager. They're all heels now. Now it's the Jericho Appreciation Society.
I saw that.
So Jericho has pretty much done with the Inner Circle, and now it's the Jericho Appreciation Society. So now he went from one faction to another faction, and now you got Santana Ortiz and Eddie Kingston. I'm sure there's going to be two guys that join them up and fight against that faction. That could lead to like a kind of a match at Double or Nothing. Could be a 5-on-5 match. So we're definitely going to see where that heads. So that happened. And other than that, there's nothing really that actually. I mean, the tag team match was very good, by the way.
Yeah.
That was a good match, the Jurassic Express. Nothing stuck out to me as far as match of the year candidate. Nothing really.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't an overwhelm. It wasn't. There's not a match on that card that sticks out. It's like, oh man, if somebody would have asked you how was the pay-per-view, there isn't a match that I can say, oh man, you have to see this match. Like this match separated itself on the pay-per-view. But going back to that MJF angle you were talking about, one thing that I'm thinking might happen is that MJF ends up costing him the championship. He comes down and does something and costs Wardlow the championship. And then they have that match at the pay-per-view. Now, I have a feeling, too, that there's going to be something on the line. It's just a matter of what to kind of spice it up, just like you said. But I think it's going to be a situation where MJF is going to do something to cost Wardlow the match and the belt. So that takes that rivalry. You can do something with that. And like you said, you don't even need the title for that. Just let them have their little rivalry, and then you can incorporate the title down the road. But right now, this time frame, it's not necessary.
Yeah, it's not necessary to put the TNT. I mean, if they want to, go ahead. I mean, it would suck for Scorpio Sky to have a 1 week title reign. It would suck, but you would understand why they want to put on Wardlow. But at the same time, they're setting up, if Wardlow loses the match, I mean, then I'll start to question why they take the belt off of Sammy Guevara if they're like, now what's Scorpio Sky going to do with the title?
Right.
There's a lot of things they can do. But I do believe MJF is going to end up being next in line to get a shot at the AEW World Championship. Probably down the line. They're keeping MJF busy until he has that match with Adam Hangman Page.
Yeah.
They're going to keep him busy. CM Punk, we don't know where CM Punk goes from here. Yeah. Who knows? He had talked about going up the world title. He may be next in line to face. See, what they got to do before they're keeping Page away from MJF, I believe. I don't know if it ain't true. Who knows? There might be somebody else that they're going to end up getting a title shot to. This is just, my opinion. I think they're just keeping them separated until they get down to at least, I want to say, all out in September or Full Gear in November.
Okay. So
they're going to throw Adam Hangman. And with the AEW World Championship, they have been doing long title reigns. I know the last two champions have gotten 1 year title reigns. So it all depends, but we'll see where that goes from there. Also, Jeff Hardy debuted last night on AEW, so he made his AEW. It was a rumor that he was going, but we all pretty much figured Matt Hardy was already there. Once WWE released him, I mean, like an hour after they released him, everybody was like, he's going to be all elite. So we pretty much figured. The funny part about it was Matt Hardy was getting his ass whooped.
He was dancing.
It's the funniest shit because Jeff Hardy was on his way and he played his old music, which, come to find out, WWE does not own, so he was able to use it in AEW. Comes out, starts dancing. Your brother in the ring getting his ass whooped. And you just dancing like for almost like 2 or 3 minutes. And then you come down to the ring, start. That shit was hilarious. I just thought I had to point that out. I found that real funny. Twitter they went crazy with that shit.
They went ham. And I was wondering the same thing. I'm like, yo, he's over there dancing. His brother's getting his nose wiped in the ring and getting his clock.
That's like you outside getting jumped by 3 or 4 dudes, and I'm sitting there dancing outside
or just watching.
Porch. Yeah, I'm just sitting like, oh, he need help. Shit, hold on. Damn, my bad. Okay. Hey, You all right, man? I'm sorry. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Music hit me already.
Like, yo, I
Right?
would have helped you, but you know what I'm saying?
The music came on, man.
Right. Had to.
Yeah. That shit was funny, man. Also, other news from AEW. I know I had posted Tony Khan bought ROH. That was also a big news story. We don't know what's going to happen with the ROH deal. We don't know if I know they are coming back with a couple of shows. We don't know if they're going to get a television deal. We don't know if he just bought the library. We don't know what's going on with that deal. There's still more details to come in regard to what's going to happen with Ring of Honor. I do know Ring of Honor has been showed up in Impact Wrestling. They have their group Honor No More, so they're there in Impact. I don't know what's going to go. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll just have to wait over the next couple of weeks to see what actually happens with that ROH deal. So we don't know. We're going to tune in and find out what happens. So we'll see what happens with that. So that's pretty much everything going on with AEW. I don't think I missed anything with AEW. Next week they are having their St. Patrick's Day Slam.
No, and how about, I didn't mean to cut you off, Keith, but
Go
one
ahead.
last thing I got to cover AEW, though. How about my man Sting, bro? How about my man Sting, 62 years old, getting up there, taking the bump he did, man. Sting deserves, he deserves kudos, man, because I didn't think that he was going to take that kind of bump. He did. And being that age and taking that kind of bump, man, you got to love what you do. And as a fan, that's all you want. Like, you want somebody that you can tell by the way they wrestle, the way they cut promos, how they truly are passionate, about the business. So to see somebody at that age, Sting, man, get up there, take that jump, man, it was amazing. I had flashbacks to the old WCW days for a second, so it was awesome to see him do that, man. It really was.
That was real awesome, man. Props to Sting, man, at that age. But you get to a point where we're like, all right, fam, you kind of need to with me and you, especially know, hey, we can get out there, go out there, play basketball. We already know, all right, fam, we gonna play half court.
We know when to call it quits.
Yeah,
we know
half court. Because I coach. Yeah. I run with 6 and 7 year olds, and I get in the car, and my body tells me, now you know damn well. Your ass don't need to be running up and down the court with them damn kids. You don't sit on that sideline and blow your damn whistle.
And stay in your lane, man. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to get cute out here and try
my body telling me, Keith, you gotta stop. Yeah. You can't run with 6 and 7 year olds no more. I was out there trying to do a fast break, man. I sat there. I said, y'all go ahead. Go ahead. And I'm sitting there thinking, I walk into my car, I'm like, all right, it's the last time. I try to be out there with them kids, man. It's fun though. It's fun though. But you got to tell your body when you've had enough.
Your body gonna tell you when it's over with, and you better listen, because if not, things will get ugly for you, man.
Exactly. All right. So next week they are doing the St. Patrick's Day Slam. Hangman Adam Page and Jurassic Express versus Adam Cole and Red Dragon, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. Also, they're doing Scorpio Sky versus Wardlow, as we talked about, for the TNT title. And then Britt Baker is facing Thunder Rosa in a steel cage match for the AEW Women's World Championship. So I think I'm making a prediction now. I believe Thunder Rosa is going to win that title next week. Because they are in San Antonio, in her hometown.
Makes sense.
So I can see them making the title change here. So, and they could go with Britt Baker, which I will be fine with. I do kind of want to see her do a lengthy title reign, so we will definitely go see what's going to happen with there. One more thing, Adam Cole. What do you think happens with Adam Cole?
It's tough, man. Like, you could. I wonder if they're gonna have him affiliate with Red Dragon, but I mean, you could. You don't have to have him in the main event scene. You can have him. You can have him do a rivalry. You can have him do a rivalry with CM Punk. Because I mean, CM Punk at this point, all he's there for is enhancing talent. I think when you get to an age that he's at, as accomplished that he is, only thing you're there for is to enhance other main eventers and young stars. So Adam Cole, I mean, you can do pretty much anything with it. I think Adam Cole, you can maybe put him in that same boat too, because he's getting up there in age. So you want to use him to enhance other talents like Darby Allin, and people like that. So I could either see a feud maybe with CM Punk or maybe a feud with somebody younger to help boost them up, and have AEW create their own stars, have their own pool of stars, because it seems like now they're bringing in a lot of talent from the outside world and they don't have a lot of homegrown stars. Like they don't have a lot of MJFs and people like that are AEW born and bred. So I think they can use Adam Cole to create more stars within AEW.
Okay. Yeah, I can see a CM Punk Adam Cole feud. I can definitely see that coming up. Also, this whole thing with Red Dragon and Young Bucks, I can definitely see something going on with that. Kenny Omega, he's still out with injury. We don't know when he's going to return. They got a couple things they can do. Like I said, the next pay-per-view is coming up Memorial Day weekend, Double or Nothing in Las Vegas. So we can definitely see where they go from here after this pay-per-view. But, Sean, I know you got to run and everything. But I thank you for joining me.
I appreciate you having me.
I'm going to continue on with the wrap-up. But, Sean, I appreciate you and everything. I know we couldn't get the long segments. I know I only had you for a short time. I'm going to continue on. But, Sean, I will let you be out your way. Make sure y'all go follow this man's Instagram, Your Boxing Fix. He has shows on Saturday. If y'all want to get your talk in regarding boxing, this is the man to go to. His information is up here, and I'll tag him on the post and everything, so y'all that way y'all know where to check him out at. But Sean, appreciate you for coming on, man. I got it from here, brother.
Hey, I appreciate you having me. I appreciate the platform. You're a good man, sir, and we'll be talking, man. Hey, any wrestling talk, that's the man you want to go to. Oh, other way. There you go.
I pointed the wrong way too, my bad, man. But I definitely need you on that WrestleMania show.
Yes, I'm there.
WrestleMania show, and I'm going to talk about the WrestleMania show after you leave and everything, and then you can just go back and I'll drop all that information regarding the WrestleMania show. But I know you got to go on your way. Appreciate you for coming on, man.
Appreciate you, my brother. I'll holler at you later, man.
All right, fam.
All right.
All right, y'all. So back to me being solo. So basically, yeah, make sure y'all, if y'all are a boxing fan, make sure y'all do check out Sean's page, Your Boxing Fix, to get your fix in for everything and anything boxing. All right. So we have wrapped up AEW. I'm going to go on to NXT. NXT had their special last night, NXT Roadblock. And let me get the thing for the Roadblock. All right. So actually, I got it on my phone. Give me just a minute. Give me just a minute. Apologize about this. Okay. So, as y'all know, they are doing the Dusty Rhodes Classic, Women's Classic, Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. So, last night they had Tuesday night, they had the semifinals. So, Dakota Kai and Wendy Chu defeated Raquel Gonzalez and Cora Jade to move on to the finals of the tournament. And then in the other bracket, you had, well, not the other bracket, but Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray defeated Stacey. I know I'm pronouncing her name wrong. I apologize. I can't even pronounce her name. Kaden Carter and Casey Catanzaro. I fucked that name up so bad. Apologize. Anyways, so you're going to have Wendy Chu and Dakota Kai versus Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray in the finals. I think that's next week. I'm not for sure. I didn't announce anything, so I know that's I'll keep y'all posted on when that's going to happen. But I know that's going to be the final. As y'all know, the winner of that match receives a future women's tag team title match against the Toxic Attraction tag team. So they got that out the way. Also, they announced A-Kid is coming to NXT 2.0. A-Kid is, if you guys watch NXT UK, I got to start keeping up with NXT UK. But A-Kid he's had some great matches in NXT UK. He is coming over to NXT 2.0, and he's making his debut next week. So we're definitely looking forward to that. Also, what else happened? We also had, I'm not going to get to that just yet. Grayson Waller beat LA Knight in the last man standing match. So I do know there are rumors that have been going around that LA Knight is going to be going to the main roster after WrestleMania. So I think this was his swan song in NXT 2.0. He's a great talker on the mic, so he should definitely do well and on the main roster. So we're looking forward to his debut. I know that's coming shortly after WrestleMania. Grayson Waller is the future of NXT 2.0. Now, and I know I say that with I'm not trying to say he is the future, but he does have a bright future. I will say that. He has a bright future in NXT, so I'm definitely looking to do bright things. I could definitely see him as possibly an NXT champion or North American champion. So that rivalry's pretty much done. Also, and they announced for Stand and Deliver. The first match announced for Stand and Deliver is going to be a ladder match for the NXT North American title, with Carmelo Hayes defending the title against 4 other opponents. The qualifying matches start next week. I know the first match is going to be Cameron Grimes versus Escobar. Can't even know his first name. Escobar. That guy. The guy from Legado del Fantasma. So they're going to be having a qualifying match. The winner will go to the match at Stand and Deliver. Stand and Deliver, it's actually going to be the Saturday of WrestleMania. It's going to be at 12 noon in Dallas, Texas, where WrestleMania is taking place. So that's going to actually be a good match at the ladder match, because the ladder match was the actual original title match for the NXT North American title at NXT New Orleans. If you guys remember that match, that was an incredible match. I think you had Ricochet in that match, Velveteen Dream, EC3. There was 2 other guys that was in that match. Let me think. I'm gonna come back to that, but it was a 6-man. Let me pull it up while I'm thinking about it, because I definitely want to get that information. Let's see. It was NXT. I have my computer. Hopefully my computer is not going down on me like it did the other time. NXT TakeOver. And I apologize. I'm trying to. Let's see. New Orleans. All right, here we go. Okay, so the men that was involved in that ladder match were, let's see. I think I got the wrong one. Oh, here we go. It was Adam Cole, EC3, Killian Dane, Lars Sullivan, Ricochet, and Velveteen Dream. So they were the ones that were involved in the first ever ladder match for the NXT North American Championship. So they're doing a ladder match at Stand and Deliver, which I think would be an awesome match. So definitely looking forward to that match coming up at Stand and Deliver. And also, as you know, the big news of the night was the NXT Championship, which Braun Breaker defended against Tommaso Ciampa and Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler walked away with the North American title, which I think shocked a lot of people. It shocked a lot of people. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it that, we don't know what's going to happen. There was rumors earlier that I read. I don't know if they're true or not. Once again, these are rumors. That they took the NXT title off of Braun Breaker to call him up to the main roster. Don't know if this is true or not. Just like I said, it's just a rumor. Possibility he is, possibility he's not. I do know more than likely he's probably going to end up winning I think the match is going to probably be made official in the next few weeks with Braun Breaker, because Tommaso Ciampa was the one that was actually pinned on during the match. So Braun Breaker technically was not pinned, so he didn't lose the title by being pinned. So that pretty much will put him as the number 1 contender for the NXT title. So they could be going in that direction where they do Braun Breaker versus Dolph Ziggler at Stand and Deliver, where Braun Breaker will get that title back. So that might be the direction they go. So we don't know yet, but I do think they did it because of one reason in regards to Braun Breaker losing the title, and it's not because of him going to the main roster. And I'm going to give my reason in a little bit later when I do at the end of the wrap-up show, because I have an opinion in regards to why he might win it there, and that's why they wanted him to win at Stand and Deliver. I'm going to give my opinion for that, because I have a theory. Just a little bit of theory, but I'll get to that a little bit later. So NXT next week, I don't think they announced anything for next week. They were supposed to have a tag team match. Imperium was supposed to face the Creed Brothers. Creed Brothers were attacked prior to the match. MSK ended up taking their place, but the Creed Brothers came down and attacked both MSK and Imperium during the match. So it sounds like they might be leading to a triple threat match at Stand and Deliver for the NXT tag team titles. And I think they're going to build the Creed Brothers up to win the tag team titles. So that's another thing that to keep your eye on. So other than that, that was pretty much NXT 2.0 in a nutshell. That happened on Tuesday. So I'll definitely keep you guys updated on what's going on with that. Now to the main roster, Raw, SmackDown. And WrestleMania, as y'all know, the big show, WrestleMania, live from Dallas, Texas, a 2-night event, just stupendous. They're using stupendous for this. I don't know why, but they're using stupendous for this WrestleMania. So 2-night event, WrestleMania, April 3rd and April 4th, and we have some of the card already that they're doing. They're doing 2 nights. So night one, they actually have, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 9 matches already set for WrestleMania. So far. Night one, we have Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Championship. We have Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio versus The Miz and Logan Paul. You guys know Logan Paul, a YouTube sensation. And Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. That's night one of WrestleMania. And then night two, we have Edge versus AJ Styles, which I think is going to be a awesome match. This match has been talked about for months, years even. These two have always wanted a match against. I think it's going to be an awesome match. We saw the match pretty much set in stone last week when Edge attacked AJ Styles. Well, Edge had wanted a challenger. He kept mentioning the word phenomenal in his promos. Finally, AJ Styles came out to answer his challenge and said he accepted the challenge for WrestleMania. Edge attacked AJ Styles, gave him the concerto, and Edge is back to his old heel again. Badass heel. I love heel Edge. Heel Edge was best for business. I love heel Edge, man. Always a fan of heel Edge. So that match is gonna be. I think that might be the show stealer of WrestleMania. That's gonna be on night two. They also, if you guys know, if you guys watch Pat McAfee's podcast, awesome podcast. You guys need to check it out. It's Monday through Friday from 12 to 3. Pat McAfee is the host. Fun, great podcast. If you like football or just sports related, so want to hear guys just sitting around talking, great podcast. Definitely want to. That's something you definitely want to check out. His show was definitely awesome. I love his show. He's actually going to have a match against Austin Theory at WrestleMania, which is night two we're discussing. If you guys remember, Pat McAfee actually had a match against Adam Cole back in NXT a couple years ago. And he proved he can hang. Adam Cole. Pat McAfee is actually he's very good in the ring. So I'm definitely looking forward to his match against Austin Theory at WrestleMania. So that's going to actually be a good one. Then you got Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn. Y'all know Johnny Knoxville was in the Royal Rumble. And then everything he's been caught up with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's been showed up at the Jackass World Premiere. So there's been a lot going on. So there's two going to face off. Queen Zelina and Carmella, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, are going to be defending the tag team titles against Sasha Banks and Naomi. And also Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, who won a match against Queen Zelina and Carmella to get themselves put into that match at WrestleMania. And also Brock Lesnar is going to be defending Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar being the WWE Champion, Roman Reigns being the Universal Champion, in a winner-takes-all match to unify the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship. They're calling this the biggest match of WrestleMania history, even though we've had probably 50 matches that have been the big matches in WrestleMania history. So they're putting this tagline for that as the biggest match of all time. So, so definitely that's going to be... It's to unify the titles. I really don't think I think they're going to unify the titles, but I think at some point they're going to take the title off. They're going to take the title off of one title off whoever wins the match. And I don't know how they're going to do it. That's just my opinion in regards to how they're going to do it. So could be wrong, could be right. I don't know. That's just my opinion. We're going to see what happens. But those are pretty much right now the match card for WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2. I'm sure there are going to be many more matches to come down the line. I definitely can see the United States Championship on the line at WrestleMania. As you know, Finn Balor beat Damian Priest not this past Monday, but the Monday night before for the United States Championship. After the match, Damian Priest attacked Finn Balor. And then Finn Balor had a match against Austin Theory this past Monday night. Damian Priest attacked Finn Balor again. And this is all leading to pretty much a United States title match at WrestleMania. And as you guys know, on the big stage of them all, Finn Balor is probably going to bring back the Demon. So I can definitely see the Demon coming back at WrestleMania against Damian Priest. So that match is pretty much it's on its way. It's probably end up being announced probably next week or the week after. So, and then the Intercontinental Championship, Ricochet beat Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship due to interference by Johnny Knoxville. That's why you got Knoxville versus Sami Zayn. I don't know what they're going to do in the Intercontinental title match. It could be a multi-person match, but I definitely do know that the Intercontinental Championship should be defended at WrestleMania. Shout out to Ricochet. They've actually been pushing him as of late. So he hasn't been really doing anything on SmackDown as of late, but they gave him a good push. So applaud him for winning the Intercontinental Championship. That's a good look, man. So definitely. But so far, but like I said, there's many more matches to come. Also, this past Monday night, RK Bro recaptured the Raw Tag Team Championships, beating Alpha Academy and also Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins in a triple threat match on Monday Night Raw. So the RK Bro is back to being champions again. I pretty much know they're probably going to have a tag team championship match at WrestleMania. We just don't know who is it against. I thought it was going to be Randy Orton against Riddle at WrestleMania, but I guess they threw that out the window. Could be saving it for like WrestleMania Backlash. We don't know. Definitely keep you guys updated on that as well. I can definitely see the Street Profits being their opponents at WrestleMania. I can definitely see that, and possibly Street Profits winning the titles. I don't know. That's just, like I said, it's just my opinion. So we'll keep track of that. But like I said, that's pretty much it for WrestleMania. I'm sure more matches will be announced to come. Oh, one more thing. Kevin Owens, he didn't challenge Stone Cold Steve Austin. He invited Stone Cold Steve Austin to WrestleMania for an in-ring segment. Me personally, I don't want to see Stone Cold in a match. I mean, they say he's been taking bumps and he's in the best shape of his life, but it's too much of a risk to put Stone Cold in a match like that against Kevin Owens because you don't know what could happen. A segment would be just fine. I mean, they're going to be in the home state of Stone Cold Steve Austin. So a sit-down segment like the Kevin Owens show with Stone Cold Steve Austin hitting him with a stunner, I would take that over a match. But, you know, as of right now, they're calling it a segment. It could lead to a match. We don't know yet. But I'll be more comfortable with a segment than I would be a match, especially with Stone Cold's condition. So, but, like I said, that's WrestleMania card right now. And, like I said, I will definitely keep y'all updated. Make sure y'all follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I keep everything updated. So just in case you missed something on the show, I kind of give you a little bit of results of what happened on the show. So that way you guys are informed of what's going on as well. Last but not least, what I wanted to go over, the Hall of Fame that's going to take place WrestleMania weekend. It's actually going to take place Friday nights after SmackDown. They are advertising it as a ticket where you get the ticket for SmackDown and you get a ticket to the Hall of Fame that follows after SmackDown. The reason this year's class is definitely going to be one to remember, especially since Undertaker is headlining. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Dead Man is highlighting the Hall of Fame class of 2022. A lot of people are saying that Undertaker should have been inducted by himself, which that would have been the most respectable thing to do. Yet still, they went with other people. I kind of do like the fact that they are other. I mean, I don't want them to break tradition, But like everybody says, traditions are made to be broken. So I don't know. I would be cool with him being inducted by himself, but I guess as long as other people are there as well, you might as well do it as well. But Vince McMahon did announce on the Pat McAfee show that he will be the one inducting the Undertaker into the Hall of Fame. I'm so looking forward to this, and I've been an Undertaker fan my entire life, the GOAT. From the casket matches to the Undertaker versus Undertaker to American Badass to the Ministry of Darkness. I've been a fan of all the Undertaker. To me personally, and I know this is just me. I was a fan of the American Badass. I was the motorcycle and the Kid Rock and shit. I was loving that. I was a huge fan of the American Badass era because it was kind of like he got away from the dark side and went to the riding the motorcycle with the American flag and all that. I enjoyed that personally. Dead Man Inc., Big Evil, I enjoyed all that. Some people like the Dark Undertaker because the thing is, you had a different Undertaker for a different era. You had the old school 90s Undertaker, then you had the Ministry of Darkness Undertaker, American Badass Undertaker. You had so many versions of Undertaker. That just shows how much his character has evolved, and it's a pleasure to see this man get inducted to the Hall of Fame. Kudos to Undertaker, man. The Dead Man is going to take his place on the Showcase of the Immortals along with all the rest of the Hall of Famers. So definitely looking forward to that. I'm definitely looking to the Undertaker's speech at the Hall of Fame. Also, the latest inductee they also announced was Vader. If you guys remember Big Van Vader from the WCW days, he had a short stint in WWE. Vader is going to be inducted to the Hall of Fame, which that's pretty big too. Another rumor name I'm hearing, and it will probably be announced next Monday night. Psycho Sid is going to be another. It sounds like he's going to be the next inductee into the Hall of Fame. This Hall of Fame is full of the big man. Man, this is definitely going to be a fun class. Another rumor, and I'm going back to what I was saying about Braun Breaker. As you guys know, Braun Breaker is the son of Rick Steiner, one half of the Steiner brothers. There's been a rumor that the Steiner brothers are going to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Don't know this for sure, but the reason I said, that's why I was coming back to what I was saying about Braun Breaker winning the NXT title at Stand and Deliver. If they induct the Steiner brothers that Friday night, Steiner brothers will be there when Braun Breaker wins the NXT title. They can have a moment in the ring. I don't know about giving Scott Steiner a microphone. The Hall of Fame. You're giving this man a microphone and letting him speak. I don't know what's going to happen with that. And hopefully Scott Steiner's relationship with the WWE has been smoothed over, because I know he's had a past with WWE. So they don't really mention anything about Rick Steiner in NXT. Matter of fact, they don't mention anything at all about Rick Steiner being the father of Braun Breaker. But Braun Breaker does the he does the Scott Steiner smarts. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that's his son, but they don't want to acknowledge it. But hopefully now, if the Steiner brothers are inducted, like I said, it's just a rumor as of right now. We don't know for sure if, in fact, the Steiner brothers will be elected into the Hall of Fame. But I hope they are. The Steiner brothers definitely have earned their right to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Like I said, hopefully everything has been smoothed over between the WWE and Scott Steiner in regards to happening with his past. So we'll see. Once again, that's something I'll keep y'all updated as well. But so far, if everything stands correct, you're going to have the Undertaker headline in the class. You got Vader, Psycho Sid, the Steiner brothers. Wow. This is it's a hell of a Hall of Fame class. This is definitely hard. It may not be one of the best. I'm curious. I want to hear, and we'll bring it up on the next show. I'm curious to know, what is y'all favorite Hall of Fame class of all time? We have a lot of them, so I'll be curious about that. But speaking of that, our next show will be the WrestleMania show on March 31st. So I can tell you that it will be at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We'll go over everything regarding WrestleMania, NXT Stand and Deliver. We'll discuss that. And I got a contest that I'm going to be running. I can't really give too much detail. It's going to be a giveaway. I will drop more news on the WrestleMania show. And the reason you want to pay attention to the WrestleMania show, because what I'm dropping is going to be, we're going to do something on the 2nd year anniversary of Wrestling Talk Radio, which is going to be in June. I don't know what date in June, but we're going to be doing something. I want you guys to pay close attention to the WrestleMania show, because that's going to give out a lot of details what's going to happen on the 2nd anniversary show. So can't tell you what's going to happen, but all I can say is tune in, and I'm going to have all the details, and maybe I'll even drop a couple of hints before the WrestleMania show in regards to what I have planned. So definitely keep an eye on the Wrestling Talk Radio page. That's why I always tell y'all, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, follow us on Twitter, so that way you guys are always kept up to date. Also, I have a Gmail, WrestlingTalkRadio@gmail.com. If you want to email me any questions, and if you want to be on the show, matter of fact, like if you want to be here on the Wrestling Wrap Up, this is not a show. This is just a wrap up of the top stories going on in the wrestling world. You can be Sean, as you see Sean. Shout out to Sean for coming on, by the way, to kick it with me for just a little bit. You can be a guest if you want to on the Wrestling Wrap Up, or if you want to be on a guest on a regular show, let me know. I'm always welcome to have wrestling fans on the show and chop it up, talk about anything and all things wrestling, man. So definitely. But I'm gonna wrap this Wrestling Wrap Up. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. I really thank y'all, and if you've been with me since day one, I do really appreciate it. And we're going to keep rocking with this, man, with these wrestling wrap-ups. If anything does break over the next week, I will definitely probably have another wrestling wrap-up coming up soon in regards to the latest news. But as of right now, I just wanted to address a couple of things that are going on in the wrestling world. But like I said, WrestleMania show, March 31st, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Don't know who my guest will be, but I'll will of course, you guys will find out in due time. But yeah, definitely tune into this show. And if you want to be a part of the show, let me know. Let me know. I'll be more than welcome to have you guys on. The more the merrier, man. I love talking wrestling. Been a wrestling fan my entire life, man. It's what I love, and that's what I did the show because I'm a wrestling fan. A wrestling fan, matter of fact. Not even a wrestling fan. A wrestling fan. I love wrestling. I love talking about everything regarding wrestling. So definitely a big fan of that. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up. Like I said, make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel that I'm on now, so that way y'all can get updates on when we go live and when we post content to the page. And like we always say here at Wrestling Talk Radio, we're not just wrestling fans, we're wrestling fans. Y'all have a good evening. Thank you for tuning in. Good night.